The reason for the rematch is I think it's just unfinished business. You know, I think everyone has a different reason for fighting. I take fighting very personal. I've always taken every time I competed, you know, since I was a kid and I was wrestling, very personal. And I always took it as that guy across from me is looking at me. He thinks he could beat me. He thinks he's better than me. I need to prove to him that he's not better than me, and I don't ever want him to think that he is better than me. So when I'm thinking like that, and then the fight doesn't get to finish, you know, as I feel. You know, I don't feel like I lost. I feel like there, you know, it was an incidental. He didn't do it. It's like no one, you know, you don't headbutt each other on purpose, especially like that. You know, it was incidental, and I just want to fight him again, and especially since I feel like if Robert Peralta is a good fighter, but Robert Peralta is not better than me at any aspect. You know what I mean? I don't think he's a better striker than me. I have cleaner striking. He can't wrestle. He can't grapple. You know what I mean? I just don't feel like the kid is better than me. But because of the clash of heads, because of the incident now, especially asking for a rematch, you know, and I asked him nice too. I don't know the kid, you know, to talk bad about him, but for him to, you know, kind of give me a wishy-washy answer, you know, really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I see what he's trying to, you know, if I was to get a win that I wasn't going to win, you know, I guess, you know, he's trying to run off with it, and that's cool too. But now I feel like it's twice that he's capitalized on my misfortune, and I'm not keen on that, man. I don't like it. But I'm not one to, you know, start like some Twitter war or, you know, some type of beef amongst fighters, because I'm not, you know, I'm a kid from Miami. You know, I don't play like that. Like, if you say something about me, the next time I see you, I'm going to ask you. And if you don't give me the answer I want, I'm going to slap you. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel in my heart about, you know, when guys are talking smack to each other. I'm like, they're stupid. They get in each other's face at weigh-ins. They push and shove each other. I'm like, you guys have been standing in the back. We line up in one single file line with the guy that's, you know, that you just were mean mugging and standing right behind you for 10 minutes. And now you're going to go to the back again. And there's no security back there. So no one's going to stop you. Don't put a show on, you know, for the people and act all angry. If you really want to fight me, you have a problem with me, we're going to fight on the day. But until then, you know, it's something to be said. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to catch up to Peralta again, and we're going to, you know, get to right this wrong.
So this is a legitimate beef now because of the way that his camp has handled it after the fact. Yeah, you really have something against this guy now.
It's not beef. That's what I'm saying. It's not beef. It's not. I don't know him enough to have a real beef with him. But I don't like the way he's handling the situation. You know what I mean? I'm not fond of the way he's handling the situation. And I think it would just be right to fight again. You know, he got an opportunity in the UFC because of my misfortune. He gets another win on his record for right now until the commission, you know, overturns it because of my misfortune. And I'm not. And then when I ask him for a rematch, you know, I think any gentleman, any man would say, okay, let's rematch. Let's do it again. Let's do it again so I can prove Mackens that I'm better than you and I'll beat you either, you know, headbutt, no headbutt. You know, that's what I think a man would have said. You know, I never seen a fighter be challenged and not accept the fight, you know? How can someone come to you and like, you know, let's fight. I want to fight you. I think I'm better than you. Let's fight. And you go, no, I don't want to fight. You know, I got other things going on. You know, I'm just like, that's not the kind of fighter I am. I know that's not the fighter 90% of the guys in the Ultimate Fighting Championship are. You know, we're not duck and dodging. We're not boxers. We don't go, well, you know, I'm going to see what my camp want. We don't do that. We say, you want to fight? You go public and say, you want to fight me? Let's fight. Let me beat the brace off of you and then shut you up.
Could you immediately tell after the fight that they were going to potentially try to avoid a rematch with you just based off the way that they were celebrating the win?
I could see it in his face. Yeah, like you would have thought he had, you know, front row seats to heaven or something, right? You thought he was first in line. Now you got to skip the line or something, the way they were celebrating, which is cool because I'm pretty sure as fast as it goes, I'm pretty sure he didn't know what he hit me with, but he know I went down and he was going to capitalize on it, you know. So I'm not faulting him because if it would have been reversed, I would have jumped on him too and started trying to pound his head in also. But in the end, when you look at it, you say, oh, man, it was a headbutt. Damn, I didn't get him. I got to get him now. You know what I mean? I have a feel for him. I got to get him. So just his, you know, him or his manager, whoever telling him that he shouldn't fight me again or he doesn't need to fight me again, or tell him to pat him on the back and say, yeah, Rob, you won, you know, are the same people that are looking at Robbie after the first round and going, oh, shit, Robbie's about to drown. He's in too deep. Look at his face. He doesn't even want to sit on the stool. Look how pissed off he is. He didn't get a punch off. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Those same people are like, oh, my God, thank you. Thank you for the headbutt. You know, rematch this kid. Are you crazy? He's going to beat you again, Robbie. That's what I think they're probably telling them.
Yeah, to me, it's one thing to avoid a rematch, and then it's another to act like when something like this happens, being the headbutts, that wasn't the contributing factor for why the fight played out. I believe MMA Junkie, they had a piece, and they actually interviewed one of his trainers or advisors, and they essentially said, I'm summarizing here, that wasn't even the reason that he won. The ultimate reason that he won was because of what happened after the headbutt, and therefore they don't even think that you deserve a rematch. What do you think about that? Yeah, it's crazy.
I think that's nuts. I think that's nuts for you to, once again, like, people forget, like, how to get opportunities. Like, he got an opportunity because of my misfortune. Then he got another opportunity because of my misfortune again. So for me to ask you for a rematch would just, you know, I think would be, you should be a man about it, you know, be a fighter about it and be like, yeah, let's scrap again. Let's do it, you know. No problem. I'll beat you again. If that's how you feel, you're better than me. And for people to say that, it's obvious, you know, it's obvious that they, you know, that someone would say something like that. I'm pretty sure if Kane and Junior would have headbutted and then Kane fell down and then Junior grounded him out, I guarantee there would be a rematch. But since we're not highlighted fighters, we're just guys trying to make it. We're guys that go to work and then go to the gym. We go to the gym, go to work, go to the gym. We're grinders. You know what I mean? So it's not that big of a deal. No one's crying. You know, it might be here and there on the internet, but it's not that big of a deal if that would happen on that stage. You know, and then Junior would have held the belt. He probably would have threw it on the floor, be like, I don't deserve this. I'm a fighter. I'm a real fighter. I don't deserve this. I didn't win convincingly. I didn't win within the rules. You know, that's what I would think. But, you know, to each his own. You know, you can't. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say about that. That's ridiculous.
You know, I don't know. I don't know if you're aware of this. I just heard about it today, and it's kind of shocking to me, actually. But it was just announced today that Robert Peralta already has his next fight booked, and it's at UFC or Ultimate Fight Night 26 against Charles Oliveira. Do you have anything to say about that? And another question to add on to that is, do you think the UFC should have waited to offer him another fight before we resolved the situation that you two have?
Well, no, I mean, UFC is going to do what the UFC is going to do. The machine is bigger than the man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if none of us ever fight again, the UFC is going to be here and go strong. You'd be very, very strong. But the thing with Peralta is people are in love with numbers. It's like in boxing, why they have the amateurs and they fight these guys and build them up because they like numbers. You know what I mean? He had a lot of fights in California against, you know, decent guys. Some of them decent, some of them just were not very decent. You know, some guys were just trying out MMA. So, like, MMA fans like numbers, right? So I go, MMA fans like numbers. Robbie has a good number. I don't think his number really matches his skill set. Oliveira is going to be that next, you know, is that next crop of fighters, you know, coming off that loss at the higher weight where he's fighting guys probably too big. You know, he's going to come down. He's going to fight Peralta. And I think, you know, Oliveira's going to be favored in the matchup. You know what I'm saying? But they ran the first millisecond they got to take another fight. If that's the case, if that actually is the fight, you know, they took the opportunity. But I'm almost like to the point where I don't even want to fight the kid no more. You know what I mean? Like, I like to fight fighters. I like to fight, you know, like guys that come to fight, you know, men that come to fight. I don't want to fight anybody that I feel like is ducking and dodging me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just almost like I'm not going to get paid more for fighting the kid. But, one day, one of these days, I'm pretty sure we'll get to do something. Might get to do something. Hopefully in March after Oliveira beats him, and then we can have our fight.
So you're even open to fighting him if he loses. You don't care about the outcome in the next fight with Oliveira.
No, I have to. Yeah, I feel like I have to fight him. I was like obsessed about it for like a day or two, and then I kind of backed off of it. But in the end, I still like I need to. Yeah, I think we still need to fight. Because what's going to happen is we go in, I think, December or something like that. We go before the commission. They're going to see it, and they're going to overturn it. So it's going to be a no contest. So it's not going to be a win on his record. It's not going to be a loss on my record. So now we have to fight. I mean, what else do you do when you have a no contest? You have to fight again, right? Both guys are physically able. We're both in the same organization. There's no reason not to fight. So we fight again. I wasn't disrespectful to him. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't disrespectful to me, so it's not like we have this thing where I don't feel like I should fight him because he's rude or whatever the case may be. We should fight and, hash this out.